Chapter 1. The Beginning of the Crimson Witch. If someone would have told her that she would end up in the void that remarkably looks like outer space, she was dressed as the day she was born, with the only exception being a white robe, similar to what a patient in a hospital wore, she would have nervously laughed and when out of sight called the mental hospital. Well, she was here, in what looked like space, and there was a see-through screen that held a lot of her personal information. Name. Race. Human. Gender. Female. Age. Being reborn. Physically look. 12. Hair color. Crimson. Eye color. Royal blue. Selected world. Naruto. Extra, please select 5 Minecraft mods. Apparently occurring to this thing, she was being reborn. She can vaguely remember being shot during a terrorist attack, but not much else. She remembered being a surgeon and playing Minecraft, and other such details, but a lot was still a blur. Also, but why was she turning 12? She was quite fine with her age. Although she should be glad she isn't going through childhood, she would not need those memories. In the end, with nothing else to do, she typed out the missing information, deciding on a new name, Urza Gremori. Don't you dare judge me, it fit. She had red hair that was similar to theirs. And she was going to Naruto universe. Great. A universe who had practically no restrictions to killing of any sorts. She wasn't really a fan of her own race, with how both her death, history, and current timeline, humans, always found ways to try to kill each other. And going with that, apparently, with Minecraft powers, she should be able to select 5 mods, and she believes she knows which should help her at all. First she selected was the minimaps, for obviously reason, impossible to take her unnoticed, have an easy access map, as well helps her out in caves or tunnels. With this, it would prove to be invaluable. Second she decided was Witchery. This was going to be, by far, useful, make potions, rituals, and infusions. She was going to use it to its fullest potential. She was going to survive through this. Third was Too Many Items mod. The simple choice and obvious reason, she was not going to remember all of the recipes, and along with auto-placing in the crafting table, this would be needed immensely. Fourth, Secret Rooms mod. This was, of course, also obvious. There was no way in hell, no way in nether, would she allow a ninja to find a vampiric voodoo doll, book on magic circles, or on potions. No way in nether. She would use this mod to create secrets rooms or chests that they would even think to search, walls that are chest, torches that are levers, many options. And for last, she picked magical crops. She had a long time to decide if she wanted this or something else. In the end, she decided it more useful to have to grow materials. After she selected it, she basically had to decide what she wanted to wear. It was oddly generous, but she was not going to look at the gift horse's mouth, so she picked out something comfortable, sweatpants, a white long-sleeved button-up shirt, as well as a long, red cape, that covered her body most of the time, that sort of looked like Gildart's. After she completed the list of information, the void she was in shook a bit, and in front of her appeared a golden door, in a language she didn't understand, as it slowly opened. When it fully opened, all she could see through it was a bright golden light. Having nothing else to sew, she walked forwards and vanished. As she did, the door closed, with a large sounds of movement, and closed completely, and with it, the door dissipated in little golden dust. It was peaceful. In the grasslands, in the land of rice, it was a very peaceful time in it, with rich green, emerald leaves. You could hear animals, along with the light breeze blowing through. There was then a loud noise. TTCHCHCH. A lightning. From the lightning storm, where previously it was sunny blue sky, with barely any clouds, it suddenly turned dark in the minute, a thunder following the lightning. Rain pouring down from the sky, and in the minute, a giant tornado started to form, creating powerful gusts of wind. And in the center of the tornado shone a light, and all at once, it fell to the earth. A brilliant pillar of light was shining, and slowly dissipated, leaving behind a large crater, and in the center of the crater was a girl. She looked young, not even a teenager, had red hair that looked like blood, with royal dark blue eyes. She also wore a red robe that covered her body. She looked around in her immediate surroundings. She seemed to be surrounded by a forest, if you ignore the giant pit she was in. Climbing out, she decided to test out her abilities, if she had any. She came to the closest tree in her vicinity. It had a trunk that was the size of her in width, and easily several times higher. She tapped several times on the bark, and go figure, it turned into a Minecraft wood oak, but she did overlook at certain detail. With a part if suddenly gone missing, the gravity overtook the rest of the tree and fell down at the lower trunk of the tree, where the tree she used to be, and started to tip in her direction. Not wasting any time, she dashed out of the way, the tree hitting the ground rather roughly. Note to self: anything that doesn't turn to Minecraftian objects is still affected by anime physics, she thought, scowling for assuming this would be the same as the game. She once more took around at her area. She gotten herself out of the hole, so she had a much better vision where she was. She didn't recognize anything, but did spot a mountain, decided that would be a great place to build a home, inside of the mountain itself. The mountain was very large, and some location was flat, but did have very steep cliffs. Maybe she would make use of the space later. With the secret rooms mod, it should be really simply to hide the entrance, and for the rest of the day, Urza made her way up the mountain, and on the way figured a few things out. Apparently she brought the mobs of Minecraft with her, yippee. She noticed them on her minimap. By the way, before she left her way, she discovered that she still had her waypoint, which also means teleportation. She didn't think she would still have it, but she wasn't complaining. She also tested it by placing 2 waypoints in the crater and the woods to see if she would teleport. Seeing it was working, she deleted the one in the crater and continued. She along the way killed zombies, while having some difficulty with the creepers and skeletons. When she got up nearly at the top, she discovered a mini-valley in the mountain. It looked like something a Minecraft world might generate. She found wild sheep which when she killed, gave her wool to create a bed. She placed in the self-made cave she was making for her house, and slept. Several days later, the first layer of her house was completed. She now had a library, made of wood she gave red in the forest. She now had to fill it up to actually be a library. It's pretty empty at the moment. It was around 20 meters long width, and was 25 meters long. Pretty high. But I was planning to add stairs to the second floor storage later on. She made a fireplace in the room, making sure it doesn't burn anything along with making the fireplace a secret entrance. She already created a torch lever with the mod and when switched, it opened up the fireplace for stairs to be revealed underneath. She had a storage room. It was 5 feet wide, and 25 feet long and 10 feet high. Plenty of room for her chest. The floor on her house was made of dark oak, with the walls being stone bricks. She had set up a dinner room, and what she would later make as her kitchen. She had a very large table enough to fit dozens of people. She did have one-way windows that shone the light through. Along with that she had a greenhouse, with the wheat, carrots, and portables growing in it. She had to place in a far location of her house since she was planning on building higher. She wanted to place one-way glass on top of the room, to let the light in, but she couldn't exactly do that if she were to have rooms on top. But the way infinite water source you often use in Minecraft actually works. Whoever knows how, she placed near the plants she grew for food. In the second floor, or what she was going to make as the second floor, had the basic 4 plants for witchery. She would need them later on. The ores. She mostly found all of them except the diamond, which is mostly needed for all of the witchery to progress. She had an altar and a giant circle of plants, ready to be used, and kettle and a witch's oven along with it. She was mostly going to try finishing her house, or mansion, to the size of the thing. She was mostly getting ready to get the diamonds and go to the nether. So she can only hope trouble doesn't come her way. Next time, Chapter 2 progress.